Hi. So yesterday I had made a video on the when it comes to horizontal departments like marketing and HR, how can you save on AI agent usage and costs? And the reason why you're seeing this visual on your screen is because I really thought that this is the need of the hour, right? Because even when I looked at LinkedIn, and I will just share my screen and show you, right? So the kind of conversations were more about tracking and governance, and basically, how can you govern this entire bit? Whereas the bigger question was more about planning. Right, and how making the whole process more efficient. Where I thought the conversation on that was quite minimal, and that's why I thought about this particular quote. Let us and I'll we'll just go through some of the conversations on LinkedIn, and then after that, I will talk about the approach that we have at AI Central when we are, when we talk about economizing on AI agent costs. Okay, so you can see like this particular post uh, is about AI usage. How this is one, for example, a framework for forecasting AI token usage. Which is basically around things like these. So it's all. I mean, if you look at the overall ideas being expressed here, it is about, okay, the token spend is happening, and how can you actually correlate that to productivity? How can you track it and things like those? Now, all of this all of this is going to come. I mean, right now, this whole discussion is done by IT departments and people who are building applications. This is a discussion which is definitely going to happen with the head of marketing, with these folks, right? The heads of horizontal functions. And the discussion is going to be about how to make economize on AI agent costs. So let me just show you our approach to this. Okay, so I am on the AI Central dashboard, and of course, like we are working on the left hand side, you'll see a spend tracking kind of a module. But overall, my personal view is that if you look at most knowledge professionals, horizontal departments talking about those kind of users, they'll kind of get confused if they start hitting these walls of token usage, and so things have to be laid out for them, right? And so basically, one of the first things here is, and I'm in the prompts to the journey in a lot of cases of knowledge professionals starts with prompting, right, and enhancing the prompts that they're already using. Right. So, for example, and this is the typical people start also on AI Central, and basically you say, okay, I want to write two social posts, and you like attach a knowledge base document, and basis that it gets a more detailed prompt which can be executed by using any model. Now, the important thing here, and which relates to utilization of AI models, is that you don't for if you already have a knowledge base and for doing these tasks. And I mean, this is not about a few people. Imagine a scenario where you have like a 5,000 strong company, which is like various people using prompts for tasks which require a knowledge base. So since you already have a knowledge base, and if the task has to be done specifically using what is their knowledge base, you do not require a high-end frontier model, right? So we have to resist this temptation of always going to the frontier models for all tasks, right? So that's the first thing. The other bit is the agents. And I think this is something which I spoke about yesterday, is that for any agent, a lot of due diligence has to be done before it actually is rolled out to people at large. Things like, is it, first of all, there has to be a priority with respect to what agents go live. And the other bit is, has enough testing been done by the guy the people who are going to run these agents with respect to how effective the output is. Has the efficiency been checked of the backend models? Can we use in certain parts of the operation of the agent? Can we use models which are more cost effective? Can we use open source? So all of those, I mean, that entire discussion has to be done, and this comes in this whole planning bit. And when it comes to usage on the AI models, right? So here it is, again, some things can be laid out, right? So if you're doing deep research, you can, and all this can be set up for the team. For if you're doing deep research, you can use certain models. If you're doing autonomous tasks which need to happen 24/7, then you can use, it can be templated that the team has to use ABC models only. So that's with respect to the model. If you have to choose between the models when you're doing tasks. The last thing is the team workflow section, wherein like after you have spend some time checking the outputs with respect to the prompts, and you have agents, right? You basically team workflows is section where all of this comes together, right? So in a practical scenario, there'll always be people, comms and agents working together. There'll be reviews, there'll be exceptions. So all of it comes together in a team workflow. So this is the final stage when it comes to making things efficient, which is, you're trying to get other people involved in the process. You're trying to take the feedback of other people. So all of that happens in the team workflow. So yeah, I mean, overall, to summarize the approach that we have to this is that it's, first of all, it's going to be an issue. Definitely, I mean, right now it's with IT people, but it's definitely going to reach the doors of heads of marketing, heads of PR. It's bound to happen. And the overbearing discussion which needs to happen is the planning, and which is a non-technical bit. I mean, like most of the discussion has to be on having good processes with respect to the whatever I just showed you. Uh, Prompts are used, how do we hard code some of this so that people are not confused? How do we make, for getting agents live, how do we make it efficient? How do we keep on getting more people's feedback into this by using using a workflow? So that's overbearing discussion, and not this whole token tracking and optimizing on the spend and trying to have this very confusing discussion with respect to how do you judge productivity with respect to what kind of tokens people are using. Because this is, I mean, we are just entering into this whole experimentation and usage phase, and it's going to be confusing if we start having these discussions right away. Thanks.